There are many great benefits that reading has to offer, and in this video, I'll share some insight with you that'll make you fall in love with reading again. Back when we were in school, teachers often made us read all these boring books, and that kind of made us develop the false relationship with reading. Now, had they given you books that you were interested in, you would have developed a much better relationship with reading. One of the main reasons why reading is important is because it increases your vocabulary. And that is important because it will allow you to articulate yourself more. Oftentimes, you'll have something that you want to say, but you just will not have the words to actually put in a sentence for people to see where you're coming from. And that sometimes can be frustrating. Now, if you're reading a lot of books, you will have a better sense on how to articulate yourself because you'll see all these different words, the way the author structures the sentences, and it will just allow you to formulate sentences way much better. Reading also stimulates your mind. It also can be a new friend for you. If you're surrounded by people that are just not the right kind of people to be influencing you, you can turn to a book. And in the book, the author will have all these different ideas that you probably would have never have thought of. Because maybe the people in the environment you're in are not really big into reading, they're not as intelligent, so you don't really have conversations that can stimulate your mind too much. There was a study in 2009 that found reading around 30 minutes a day can help lower stress levels. And that makes complete sense because when you're reading, you're kind of pulled from the environment you're in. So if you were stressed that day and you went into reading, you're kind of in a different world because you're listening to the author, you're listening to the story, you're kind of tying it to yourself, and for the time being, you're kind of pulled from the environment. Reading also helps you develop more empathy for others. And the reason behind it is because as you're reading the story, you're really focused in on the author, what they're saying, how they're feeling, what makes them happy. And as you're building that skill through reading, you'll actually bring it into real life. So when you're talking to others, you'll be more willing to listen. You'll be careful of the words you choose to use because when you're reading the book, the author does a lot of those things. Reading also can build you a lot of skills. If you do not know how to work computers, you could get a book in computers. What took someone 10 years to learn, you could learn in a few days because they packed in a book all that information they've learned over the years. And in this new era that we're in, things are constantly changing. And if you're not constantly learning, you're just gonna fall behind. And there's not much opportunities for people that are stuck in the past. Most of the great opportunities are gonna be in the future, and reading will keep you ahead of the game. Reading is probably one of the best ways to just shorten your learning curve. There's just really no other source other than videos. Videos are great, they can be very insightful, but in a book, everything is a lot more deeper. You get a broader understanding of what is trying to get taught to you. In the video, it's kind of hard for people to give you a full understanding because the video can only be so long, so that kind of makes things difficult. Now podcasts, they're great, and they've actually become more popular. I was watching a video on YouTube and Jordan Peterson said something like, podcasts is kind of the new version of reading in a way, because people make 3-hour podcasts. Sometimes it takes people 3 hours to read a book. So if you're not big into reading, you could get into podcasts and your mind would still be getting stimulated. Getting into reading can also improve your conversation skills because now your mind is just more diverse. Now you can have deeper conversations. Everything's not going to stay on the surface. Surface level conversations, they're just boring. I'm sure you're sick of them. If your friends are not constantly improving themselves, you guys are just going to have surface level conversations and they're no fun. So if you're taking that time to read and grow yourself, your whole relationships will improve with just about everybody because you have more to say, you're more articulate, more intelligent, you're not all over the place, your word choice is better. There's just so many benefits that reading has to offer. Getting into reading can be one of the best investments you make in your life because of all the benefits that it can provide for you. After all, many highly successful people read, and it's because of how much it can improve their character in the things they do in your life. So if you want to accomplish great things in your life, I would really push getting into reading.